Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Barricade podcast. I am your host, Papa Dank, and still your 23-6 YouTube heavyweight champion right here. The most coveted title in all of YouTube, just so you know. But let me put that down. It's a little heavy. Had quite the weekend this weekend. I was at BPW's Gold Rush Rumble. A lot of debuts. Good stuff. Good stuff. You can check out the vlog coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. It'll be exclusive on my YouTube account. And yeah, let's go. So without further ado, let me bring on my very special guest tonight, the one and only Nate Mansions. How you doing, bud?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How's the weather down there?
Dude, it is hot every day.
I bet, man. It's hot over here, man. But it gets cool at night, though.
Oh, somewhat. Not really.
Not over there. Over here, it's been getting cool. Usually it's been hot like 24/7, but now it's getting cooler at night.
Yeah.
And last night I was at the gym coming home at 2 a.m. and I got soaked because it started to pour.
It's 100 degrees today.
100 degrees? Jeez.
Yeah.
I'd be like a wax melt somewhere. All right, let's start off with, how did you fall in love with this wonderful world that we call professional wrestling?
Oh, man. So it was like 2005. And I used to I don't know what it was. I always used to get into everything that my cousins would do and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, it was like TV shows, video games and stuff like that. And I remember being at their house on vacation in 2005 or 6, one of those 2 years. I remember seeing wrestling on TV. And it was the most coolest thing ever to me. Like, as soon as I watched it, I was in it like that.
You were hooked.
Especially old school SmackDown. And then, within a couple months after that, I got into TNA when they were still going on Spike TV. Oh, that was the prime years. That time period is so phenomenal.
Nice. Who were your favorites growing up?
Okay, this is going to sound a bit weird. I never really had favorites. I was never, a big into certain wrestlers. I was big into, a lot of, I didn't think of them at this time as this, but into, storylines. I really liked MVP when he was going against Matt Hardy. I really liked AJ Styles when he was going against Abyss. Samoa Joe when he was going against people.
So the stories drew you in.
Yeah. I think Abyss was phenomenal. So underrated. So underrated.
So you, as a professional wrestler now, you feel that the storyline has to meet your expectations?
Sometimes, yeah. I understand it always can't, but sometimes it's a big thing for me.
Awesome. All right, we'll go into a storyline later. Let's start off with, where did you go train to become a professional wrestler, and who were your trainers, and what were your thoughts during that initial training process?
Okay, so I was a bit nervous to go to training initially.
Right.
I started at the Wild Simone Training Center in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you move to Hawaii?
So I do a lot of work around a lot of areas, and I was living in Hawaii for about 3 years. So I originally started over there. And I trained with Aleki Lee and Bonnie Maxon, also known as Radiant Rain, also known as Rain, or Peyton Banks from TNA.
Okay. How was that initial training for you?
I really liked it. The atmosphere, the people I was training with, the people who trained me, everything there was really amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I found the place on accident, because I was doing a lot of training for work wise and stuff like that, and I was looking for wrestling in the area, and I remember just searching up everything Hawaii. I was looking up Hawaii Pro Wrestling, Hawaii Wrestling, Oahu Pro Wrestling, Honolulu Pro Wrestling, Pacific Pro Wrestling, everything like that. And then eventually their promotion, Oos Wrestling, popped up, and I was like, oh dang, okay, there's a wrestling promotion here. So I ended up buying tickets for the show, and I remember it's the same day as the first Double or Nothing in 2019, I think it was. Yeah, that year.
Oh, so you've only been doing this for a couple of years then? 4 years?
I started a little bit after that. I think I started in June of 2019.
Okay. All right, awesome.
That's when I started training. Then I started doing shows later on after that.
Now, I'm going to have to ask, because you've only been doing this for a couple of years. Is this your first podcast?
Second or third.
Oh, all right. I'll take it.
Yeah. You're up in top number 3, though.
Number 3, there you go. I'm in the top 10.
Yep.
All right, let's go into after you do that initial training, your first match in front of a crowd with who was your opponent and what were your thoughts during your first match?
So my first match was against Giant Leather. He did a lot of stuff on Grimm's Toy Show. He's really big in New
I know
Jersey.
that. I know who he is.
Yeah, and he's big in Hawaii too. Going
That
into the
guy's
match,
scary.
scared because he is like 6 foot something.
Yeah, he's scary. Yeah,
way bigger than me.
uh-huh.
And the crowd wasn't that big because it was pandemic. It was like in
It was in Hawaii.
yeah, it was like in April of 2021. It was a little bit after the pandemic started, obviously, but like Hawaii was still really strict. Like you couldn't do any sporting events indoors with more than like I think 10 people or 8 people. Right. Yeah, it was 8 people. So you only could have 8 people in attendance. So you're doing like party shows and stuff like that at the training center. Right. Man, I took the meanest choke slam of my life.
To this day, is that the meanest one?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
all right, let's go into opponent you would like to wrestle that you haven't wrestled yet.
Mike Skyros.
Oh, I know Mike. He's out here in New York.
Yeah, I rode with him a lot when I was up there in New York. I talked to him a lot. He's a very great dude. Very fantastic pro wrestler. Fantastic. There is no doubt, like zero doubt that dude is going to make it. He has so much. He does. He's so good.
Incredible. I know what you're talking about. I see it in some of his matches, and even when I talked to him during my podcast.
Did he say his favorite was me? He didn't say that, but he thought it.
He did not know. might have to, call him up later and tell him, what the hell, man? What's up, Angel? All right, let's go into your favorite match you've had so far and why.
Me versus Corey Jackson in New York Championship Wrestling, and it wasn't in I can't remember the city. I know it wasn't the capital of New York. I can't think of the name.
Was it
Albany.
upstate?
It wasn't in Albany, but it was close to there.
Okay.
So it was me versus Corey Jackson, and I think that was my favorite just because I was still finding like my way still at the time. I still am today. But I remember that it felt like he was at that upper level where I had to like work even harder to like keep going and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that match.
Sometimes you just gotta keep changing your gimmick or your style until you find the right one that suits you. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Just because it didn't work out the first time, just keep trying, man. That's all you gotta do. Can't give up.
Facts. Facts.
Facts.
Wait, also, can I give one more?
Sure.
One more pick
opponent
for the match.
Yes.
So I want to do. So right now I'm in a tag team with Marcus Meadows, the other half of the Midnight Premier.
Okay.
And I really want to do a match, the Midnight Premier versus Black and Yellow. Okay. Feel like that'd be fantastic.
Why would it be fantastic for you?
Because I know a lot of Black and Yellow stuff. I rode with them for a while. I've seen a lot of their matches. I've seen how they worked. I went to the same training places as them for a while. And stuff like that. And I feel like we could have a really good match together. And I still want to get my win back. I still want to get my win on Corey Jackson. I'm going to win. Gonna finish the match, pinning him 1, 2, 3 right there.
All right, let's go into promotion you want to work for that you haven't worked for yet, and don't go into the big ones just yet. Just start off with like somebody in the indie scene.
I'm not gonna say any of the big indies like GCW just because I feel like that'd be a cheating thing because I can't see the other ones.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Immortal, I feel like that's one.
Okay.
Another one would be I can't think of the name. I think it's the one that Amazing Red runs in New York, in Brooklyn.
Oh, House of Glory.
House of Glory. That's another one.
They just got bought out by Master P.
What?
Oh, yeah, Master P owns that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Master P, if you're watching, look at Nate's stuff and come join us on the podcast. Hey, you never know, right? Never know.
Facts, man.
We can talk House of Glory stuff. Yeah, man, they got a lot of good stuff. I think he's got big plans for House of Glory. I don't think it's just, hey, let me just do another indie show. I think he's got big plans for it. Yeah, he did a crossover with GCW, if you noticed.
Oh yeah, I seen that the other a while ago when they did that.
Yeah, they had I think it was Red himself was on GCW.
Gee, that doesn't shock me though. I guess Red is really talented too.
Yeah, he's a really good wrestler. Oh, we got some suggestions for you for New York, especially out here in Long Island right now. VPW, NYWC is Long Island, and Win is in New Jersey.
Which was the last one?
Win Wrestling is Now.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen their stuff.
That is the SAT's promotion.
Okay.
Serena also recommends VPW, NYWC, Remarkable Wrestling, and SWA, which is running a show in September. Actually, everybody's running a show in September.
Yeah.
VPW just had their show, but they have a show in September. They have a show. Actually, they have a show at the end of the month in Connecticut.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them ramp up in like the winter. In Connecticut, I did what's it called?
Yeah, VPW is mostly Long Island, but they do one show in Connecticut a year.
Yeah, I think I did the Paradise Alley shows in Connecticut. I think I did like 3 or 4 of them.
I'm gonna show you the Win logo because I'm part of the social media tour. There it is.
Oh, yep. That looks familiar. I remember seeing that somewhere. I don't remember where or when, but I remember seeing that.
You seen the symbol? Yeah. The symbol's kind of unique, you know.
Yeah, kind of looks like a my bad. I'm sorry, like a superhero movie symbol. Like
it does, yeah. It does actually, yeah.
Yeah, or like when they go into the lair and they open up the gates and the emblem is right on the gate.
Now that I think of it, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like a Superman type symbol.
Yep.
Now this is me with the owners at the last show with my championship over there. Yeah, I'm telling them, man, when are you gonna make the shirts for everybody? Because I want a shirt.
I'm surprised they don't. A lot of promotions do these days.
I know. Oh man, Serena's got a whole list of names for you all over the New York metro area. Warriors of Wrestling, Invictus, Titan, Championship Wrestling, Win, and We Are Wrestling in New York City.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm also part of Titan. I'm doing their next show in September.
Jeez. I really want to do a whole bunch of shows during WrestleMania weekend though.
Philly. Yeah. Philly, they got I heard some rumblings, man, from some of the promotions I'm with. So they got some stuff coming, man.
Jeez.
So I would start hitting those promotions up, tell them you're gonna be out there in Philly.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to find out which ones they are.
And get your names out there. I know Win is gonna have a show there. Wrestling is Now. And I heard CZW is having shows out there too.
Oh yeah. Man, old school CZW really hits different. I'll tell you that.
It does, yeah. It does. I know a couple of guys that work there right now. Do their wrestling over there.
Not bad.
It's a big deal, yeah. It's a big deal. Now the crowd I heard is really crazy down there in Maryland.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
I'd say they're like old school GCW. That's how I see like my bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, it's more like an old school GCW feeling type down there. Yeah. Exactly. GCW it was kind of like a indie type league, and then it just exploded out of nowhere.
Yeah, like especially post pandemic, like they started going up.
Yeah, they just blew up and got all this talent in there. I mean, they got Moxley in there at one point.
Yep.
Like when he left WWE.
Moxley just did the.
He was just somewhere recently.
Yeah, their portal. The one that's in California. I can't think of the name right now.
Yeah, I saw him somewhere. I don't know if it was GCW, but I know he did an indie promotion.
No, it wasn't GCW. It was the one that the Young Bucks and Kane used to do with Steen in them.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts on how the business is right now in independent wrestling?
I think it's pretty good so far. Still, I think indie wrestling has been booming now more than ever. Because I remember, like, even back in 2006 and stuff like that, maybe just because I was really young and didn't have that much access to the internet and stuff. But I think now it's more booming than then, especially with, like, a lot of streaming sites with GCW, with CCW, with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, with Immortal, with House of Hardcore, yeah. And
even IWTV, they stream a lot of the independent promotions now.
Yeah. IWTV too. A lot of the shows I'm doing down here are on IWTV now and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So I think
IWTV's Now's the time to buy stock in IWTV.
Went wrong, man.
Insider trading and stuff. Cardona winning the world title at GCW put them on the map. That's true. Cardona going there really boosted their image, man.
Oh yeah.
So I think anywhere Cardona goes, there is boosting everybody's image.
I really loved the visual when he won the championship and people are throwing stuff at him and he puts a title in front of his face.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Some of the best heel work I've seen, man. Definitely. All right. So what does Nate like to do for fun outside of wrestling?
Oh, okay. I go to the gym.
It's important. Gym work is important. I think I just lost.
My bad. I don't know why mine cut off for a sec like that. That was weird.
It's okay, man. It happens.
Going to the gym, swimming, traveling, going to the beach, cooking, going to concerts. I really do go to a lot of concerts, live stand-up, going to the movies, and stuff like that.
Your most favorite recent concert you've been to?
I know it's not really recent. It was 2000, but I'd say Eminem.
Oh, Eminem.
Nah, but that was 2000 in February of 2000. But I did go to Bad Omens last November or October, and that was phenomenal.
I would love to go see Eminem, man. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time.
I got floor seats, and I got there as soon as they opened the gate.
Wow.
And I got right against the barricade.
That's crazy.
Less than 7 feet away from him. Closest in the whole stadium. Phenomenal show.
It's a goal, man. It's a goal for me to see Eminem. Oh, look at this. My friend, he just went to go see 50 Cent in Madison Square Garden. Show was amazing. Anything 50 does is amazing. I don't know if you watch all his shows on Stars, man.
I'll watch some, but not a lot. I really like his concerts because they're really cheap. Like, you can get 2 tickets for the price for $1, basically, if you think about it.
Right.
But yeah, his concerts are really good.
I bet, man. I need to go. That's some of my bucket list stuff, man. Yeah, someday, who knows? Maybe I'll get him on the podcast. Who knows? Hey, man, you got to have big goals, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you collect anything?
Yeah, kind of. When I go to a lot of concerts, I get like vinyls and stuff like that, and get autographed by the artist you go see. Obviously, I can't do it every concert, but I got like an Eminem one. I got a Bring Me the Horizon one. I got Bad Omens. I got Shinedown. I got Light the Torch, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness, and a couple other ones. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm a big Funko collector. I collect Funkos.
Dang. Okay, not bad.
Yeah, huge.
And
man.
I just shirts from the concert I go to and stuff.
I just picked up AJ Lee pop, which is like a hard pop to get, especially when in mint condition and not fake. So I got a real one, and I know it's real because I know it's authentic because I know my stuff. And I was so pumped. I'm like, yes, and it's signed by her.
Really?
Yeah, I got it actually pretty cheap. So I was excited, man. I'm like, yes, this is my lucky day. All right, let's get back into wrestling. Favorite venue you've wrestled out of and why?
Okay. That would have to. I did a show in Alabama, like in June, June or July. I think it was June. No, it was July, I think. And it was like this outdoor venue, and the promotion is Breakout Championship Wrestling. Every single show that they do, they have these unique stages and entrances and stuff like that. Right. And it was a really great venue because it was like where they do the fair and stuff like that. So it had this overhand covering. It was like this big area. It was like 300 or 400 people there. They had lights on the whole outside of the venue and stuff like that. That was lighting it up. They had food trucks there and a whole bunch of other stuff. And like their crowd was so awesome. And I feel like that had to be one of my favorites.
Okay. So what goals do you have for the rest of the year? The year is almost end.
I wanted to hit my 110th match this year. Okay. I wanted to sell more shirts. Buy the shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com/Nate Mansions or message me on any platform at Nate Mansions for shirts at a cheaper price.
Pro Wrestling Tees, that's the place to go, man.
Yeah. And want to win the tag team championships with my tag team partner, Marcus Meadows. I want to break out into bigger promotions in my area. Just because every time I move, it's hard to get into bigger promotions because like I'm starting over all over again.
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to perform in the West. I want to do at least a show in Arizona, California, or something like that this year.
Okay. There's some good goals.
Yeah. And that's basically it.
Awesome. Serena's got a question for you. If you had to choose between WWE, AEW, and Impact, where do you think would be the best fit for you?
Good question. Hear me out. So I'd like to go to Impact first, then go to AEW, then go to WWE.
Okay.
Just because I feel like once you go to WWE and then you go anywhere else after that, you're just he's an ex-WWE guy.
Right.
Or even if like you go to WWE and you go anywhere else after that, they'd be like, oh, well, he's just like riding off of his WWE name and stuff like that.
Okay. That's not a bad plan. Yeah, I like it. What about thoughts about going overseas? Any thoughts about going overseas?
Oh, yeah. Really would love to. I already traveled overseas to like London and Japan and stuff like that for personal travel a while ago. And I like to do shows in Japan, London, Mexico. I did one in Canada before already. I like to go there and do more shows there. Asia, I feel like that'd be a cool place to go. I already said Japan, but Australia, that'd be phenomenal.
Okay, Australia's good. Puerto Rico would be a good one too.
That too.
That'd be a good place to go.
I really like Australia so I can pet a kangaroo though. That's a goal.
Okay. Good stuff. What about championship gold? Any thoughts on becoming a champion somewhere?
Yeah, I do. I'd be a long-term champion in at least like 5 promotions within the next 5 years.
Okay. That's a goal of yours?
Yeah, tag team championships, singles championships, all of them. That'd be phenomenal. Somehow find a way to get a 6-man tag championship. That'd be great.
Nate 5 belts?
That 5-belt Nate.
One of my friends who's in the business, he's like, I want to get to 8 championships so I could call myself the Octa champion. That's unique though. That's unique.
Oh yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do to stand out, man. What do you think? And I don't think I've ever asked this question before to anybody. But what do you feel would make you stand out above everybody else?
Oof.
That's a real tough one.
I think gimmick, character work, and stuff like that. Being content with using other avenues to help get a bigger outreach instead of being like, I'm just going to focus on this one thing, be able to focus on to a more broad audience of people, and being able to focus on to different target audiences.
But what would be your standout if you had to say, hey, this is what I offer, this is why I stand out?
I'd say how do I put this? How do I put this? Like being a goofy, over the top character, right? Not being scared to joke around. Is it okay if I cuss?
Okay. Yeah, you can cuss.
Okay. Not being scared to make like an ass out of myself and stuff like that. Not being scared to take chances.
I've had people say way worse than that.
Okay. Just checking because I was like, yeah. I'm trying to tone it down.
Oh, wait till you see an interview I got coming up on my YouTube. Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Man, I'm all stuffed up, man. My allergies are out of control, man. I'm sorry if I sound nasally.
It's all good.
With
my camera.
All right. What type of match would you like to be in that you haven't been into? And what has been your favorite gimmick match so far?
Okay, so I haven't done a lot of gimmick matches yet, to be honest.
Okay, then we'll go with one you want to be in.
Tag team ladder match. Steel cage match.
Okay. If you had to pick one opponent to wrestle in a steel cage match, who would it be? It could be anybody now.
Current or past?
It could be anybody, current or past.
06 MVP.
06 MVP.
Oh yeah, him come out with the whole entrance and everything. And then, like me mimic off of it, me come out with like a lookalike suit too, and then come out of the same entrance and do that.
That's awesome.
That'd be fantastic.
That is awesome, man. If I can go back in time, I would probably say I would want another DX run, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Because that first run was cut really short because Shawn got hurt with his back. Or else who knows how long they could have gotten with that thing.
I remember being a kid and then watching old school Raw and then seeing that DX went on without Shawn Michaels for a while. And I was just like, what? I was so shocked by that.
It was different. It wasn't the same. It was different.
Exactly.
But not to say that it was bad. It was good still. Mm-hmm. But it was just different without Shawn. You know what I'm saying? The dynamic between Shawn and Hunter was like very unique. You know, then he brought in X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws and stuff. Yeah, China. Well, China was with him.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
When he was with them, and then they had Rude, and then he left. But yeah, that dynamic between Michaels and Triple H is just very, very unique, and you don't see a lot of that nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Although I do like the dynamic between Jericho and Guevara. They have a great dynamic together.
I don't know who I really want to see in more segments.
Who?
Danhausen.
Yeah, I know. I think he's injured right now.
Yeah, I think he is. Just even like backstage segments, like if they did like a story like where he's like the GM of Collision, just him like.
That would be great. The GM of Collision. That's a good idea.
Like every week, just his office is in the most randomest of places.
That's a good idea, man.
Like they're looking for him. They're walking around the arena trying to find him, and he has his desk with like the popcorn stand right on it and stuff like that. And he's like, making these monies. And
you know, he's like the best-selling merchandiser in AEW.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And he wrestles once a year.
Just about. Dude, that'd be fantastic.
That would be bad. I think that's a great idea, man. We should pitch it to the creative team over there. You should email them, man. Listen, this is a good idea.
Man, I wish, dog. I wish.
See, maybe you should just go right into AEW. You got some good ideas already.
Yeah. Book me. Book it, Tony.
Book it, Tony. We got a comment here. Very nice, very evil. The nicknames for the other wrestlers would be great. It would be great. Like if they go in and they mess with them, they're like, "You are cursed."
Yep. CM Punk's about to challenge somebody. He's like, "Oh, Pepsi Phil, how you doing?"
That's Pepsi Phil. That's right. He could play Commissioner Foley role. He could.
They do a story where they can't find Danhausen all show, and he's like, "Oh, I'm at the AEW," and like he's actually at AEW wrestling.
Yeah, like, that's right. He's in there.
Like yelling at the manager, like, "You're in a match with them." Oh.
We're gonna have to submit that somehow, Nate. All right, man. Any last thoughts before we go? Anything you want to share with the world?
Check out indie wrestling. Check out your local independent wrestling show. No matter where it's at, it's always going to be good. At least if it's not going to be all good, there's going to be a couple good things on it. It's going to be big names coming from there. No matter who they are, small or low or high on the card, everyone gets picked up somewhere.
That's true. That's true.
Also, check out the merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/Nate Mansions. And out my merch on any social media platform /Nate Mansions. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. My bad. X. Everything.
X, that's right. Twitter's gone, man.
It's not even the degeneration kind either.
I know, it's just X. I mean, like, come on. Why did he get rid of let's talk before we go, why is Twitter gone? Like, why is it X now?
And
like, he bought the brand, basically, right?
Yeah.
Because anybody can create a platform. Look at the Reds.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
When IHOP switched it out over to IHOP, IHOB, and then I feel like a week from now they're gonna be like, "Oh, my bad, it's back to Twitter. It's back to Twitter."
That's right. They're gonna change it back because they realize they made a mistake.
Jeez, I can picture that.
Like,
that'd be something Elon would do.
Why spend all that money to buy this brand, and when you could just create your own type similar to it and just do, whatever. All right, I want to be X. All right, make it X. But why? You know what I'm saying? It just made no sense.
I think that it's just the feasibility of starting a social media platform and actually getting it going would be hard. Because, like, you know how Trump and other people try to start their own social media platform, just dwindles. I feel like it's because everybody is so knowledgeable about like Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that being around that he thought you could buy it and then somehow increase the revenue.
I think Threads is becoming popular. I'm going to pull it up right now. Every time I get a message that there's more and more new people on there. So I don't know if you can see it.
I've been procrastinating on downloading that still.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's getting popular now. So it might surpass, Twitter.
I mean, I don't know. If your signal's not working that good though, you can try going just to test your signal. Go to prosnts.com.
I get your shirt just to make sure it's working.
Yeah, if it comes, your signal's good, right?
That's right.
2 birds, 1 stone, right there. So that's what I normally do. Whenever I'm like, oh man, is it working? Go on and buy.
All right, what do you got going on? What promotion is gonna be at next? My job is texting me like crazy.
So this Saturday I got Covington, Georgia. I forgot what the promotion's name is, to be honest. It's a lucha show coming up. Next month I got wrestling at Southern Brew Co. I got Wrestle America. I got Southern Violence Wrestling. And then I got another one in Florida that I can't remember the name of, to be honest. And then the month after that, I still got basically the same thing. I got Platinum Championship Wrestling. I got Palmetto Wrestling. I got Wrestling at the Bruce Co. again in Georgia. Then I got probably Southern Honor again in Georgia. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to do as much as possible. At least do 2 every single weekend. If not, at least do 1 every single weekend. Keep doing shows. Keep doing matches. Keep doing audience work. Getting everything done.
Awesome. And where can everybody follow you?
You can follow me at every single social media platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
X.
YouTube at /Nate Mansions, or just type in Nate Mansions in the search column. No X, my bad. No symbols, no spaces, no special characters, just Nate Mansions, NateMansions. Make sure you follow me on prosnts.com /Nate Mansions.
Awesome. Now, next month, Nate, is Hispanic Heritage Month here at Beyond the Barricade and everywhere around the world, right? Mm-hmm. So we got a couple of guests lined up so far. We got, kicking it off, the one and only PJ Savage.
Woo!
My co-host, just so you know, is kicking it off. We have the returning, that's you, the returning comic book warrior, Gabe Baez, as we're going to discuss Hispanic heritage and wrestling. We're going to talk about comic books. We're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We got a lot in common. Me and Gabe. We became best buds after our podcast, just so you know.
Not bad.
And then I have the one and only Zulekia coming on the podcast. And this might be actually her first podcast. And I'm so excited.
That she's coming. Third.
She's good. It won't be my third now. Maybe. I don't know. By then, it might be my third. She does other stuff. I will also coming up will be Pancakes returning on August 22nd for SWA. You're not going to want to miss that episode. And I will be at Titan Championship Wrestling, as I am now the official podcast of Blaze of Glory on Saturday, September 16th. Make sure you go to Titan Championship Wrestling and get your tickets now for that event. I will be there, and all your Titan superstars will be there, including PJ Savage and Anthony Gangone. And they're also teaming up with Goddesses of War Wrestling. So you're not going to want to miss that. It's like 4 matches each promotion, and it's going to be a great match. We got Maria Valdemoni over there. We got a bunch of people over there. The Amazonian, she'll be there as well. So excited to be a part of that. And, of course, as part of Hispanic Heritage Month and as part of the WIN social media tour, I will be back sometime next month with the SATs before their next show, Brainbuster. You're not going to want to miss that episode. And, of course, my vlog continues as we have a new vlog next week from VPW's Gold Rush Rumble. I call it the Gold Rush Fumble and on my podcast.
Did they fumble because they didn't book Nate Mansions for it?
They fumbled because they didn't book it. It was a lot of debuts, just so you know. A lot of debuts.
Not mine.
Including this talent named Yusufer, who's like a barbarian. First, you hear like he has this special whistle, so you don't know where he's coming from. You're just looking at the ring, and then all you hear is I'm like, what the hell is that shit? There he comes from the freaking outside. He's coming in there.
Like Jeff Jarrett's wee woo, wee woo, wee.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy. I forgot what the whistle was. My son knows what it is. Also, coming up next, I have the one and only Ruthless Lala coming up at 7 o'clock as she is taking on Mercedes Martinez at We Are Wrestling on September 8th. So you're not going to want to miss this episode as Ruthless returns to the podcast and discusses her upcoming match, as well as, what she's been up to recently. You're not going to want to miss that, man. It's like such a child screaming. Angel was there. He heard it. Yeah, it sounded like a child screaming. It was crazy. So crazy. Nate, thank you for coming on the podcast, brother. Appreciate you coming on. Make sure you follow Nate, everybody. Everybody.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Nick Minix is everywhere.
Superstar. One half of the Midnight Premiere. The Dominant Daddy.
That could be a shirt. Nate Mansions everywhere.
Book
it. Just gave you a shirt idea. Just saying.
I'll send you one.
All right, cool. Stick around for a moment. Everybody else, I will see you back at 7 o'clock.